Welcome to Mishna study Masechet Shabbat Perek Yutet Mishnah. Hey, over here in this Mishnah, we're going to discuss when can a baby receive a Brit Milah. Right, so we have a similar Mishnah in the opening of Masechet Megillah that has, Megillah Nikret, and then lists all the days that you can actually read the Megillah. We're going to say Katani Mol, a baby can get a Brit Milah, Lishmona, Litish'a, La'asara, La'ahadasa, Lishnemasar, Lo Pachot Velo Yoter. The baby can get a Brit Milah on the 8th day, 9th day, 10th, 11th, and 12th day, no more, no less. Right? First of all, he's not allowed to get a Brit Milah earlier than the 8th day, right? But Yom HaShemini Yimol B'Sar Lato. And just before we go into this, another important principle, a couple of important principles. If we have Ben Hashmashot, if a baby's born Ben Hashmashot, so that's a safek whether it's day, safek whether it's night. So we need to go ahead and push it to the next day. Safek, you're not allowed to give a Brit Milah on the 7th day, so you have to push it off to the 8th day. And in general, we have to know a Brit Milah Bismana, if it's on Shabbat, if the 8th day falls out on Shabbat, you could perform the Brit Milah. But if it's Milah Shelo Bismana, right? We know Milah Bismana. We learn from the Pesukim, it's Mahloket in the Gemara, how to, where we know this from, right? But they learn it from also from the Pesukim over there. Right, from the pasuk by Yom HaShemini Yimol B'Sar Lato. We also saw in the first Mishnah of Perek, right, that you're allowed to perform the Brit Milah on the 8th day that falls out on Shabbat. But let's say it's a push-off Brit Milah. So we know a push-off does not push off Shabbat, right? We have Shabbat. Shabbat itself is an Aseh and Lo Ta'aseh. Right, you have Shamor and Zachor, right? You're not allowed to perform Melachot on Shabbat. There's also in Inyan of Zechira, performing mitzvot Aseh, of remembering Shabbat as well. So if you have a Lo Ta'aseh, mitzvot Aseh, a Brit Milah does not push off a Aseh, an Aseh, and a Lo Ta'aseh, right? This is a famous rule, right? Lo Ate Aseh v'dahi Lo Ta'aseh v'aseh, right? You can have a mitzvot Aseh and push off a Lo Ta'aseh and an Aseh, right? Ani Shabbat. Okay, that's those are the important prerequisites to understand about Mishnah. So now how does this flow? Kidarko, regular baby, Bishmona. Pasuk says, the 8th day. Nolad ben Hashmashot. Let's say he was born twilight, in between sunset and stars out. Nimol Tisha, then it gets pushed off to the next day, which is the 9th day. Ben Hashmashot Arev Shabbat. Let's say he was born Ben Hashmashot on Friday night. Okay, so now, right, you can't do it, on the 8th day, Friday. Right, that you can't do. You push it off to the next day, because it's Ben Hashmashot. But now, right, it ends up being a push off on Shabbat. So you can't do that either. So I got to push it off to the next day. So now, Nimol La'asara, he's done on the 10th day. Right? If Friday was the 8th, Shabbat was the 9th, now it has to be on Sunday, the 10th day. Yom Tov Le'achara Shabbat, let's say the next day is Yom Tov, right? Let's say the holiday falls out on Sunday. Now you got to push it off to the 11th. Let's say now Monday with 2-day holiday of Rosh Hashanah. Right? Over here, now you need to push it off, right? We have Rosh Hashanah is Kedusha Hat. It's considered one Kedusha. And therefore you can't even do it on the 2nd day holiday. You need to push it off till afterwards. So Nimol Vishnem Asar. Right, then it falls out to the 12th day. It's interesting the way Rambam explains this. He explains that 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, the reason you can't do it is because it's Kedusha Ahat, because it's one holy day, right? We consider it as one sanctified day, one Kedusha, and therefore we can't do it. If I was to ask you, what about the 2nd day holiday in Chutz La'aretz? It sounds like according to Rambam, right? This is true. According to Rambam, it sounds like it would be allowed. Right? If you had a push off Brit Milah that falls out on the 2nd day holiday in Yom Tov Sheni Shel Galuyot, according to Rambam, you should be able to perform that Brit Milah. And that's why Rambam's posek. Shulchan Aruch, though, is not posek that way. Right? And Shulchan Aruch says even a 2nd day push off, you're not allowed to do the Brit Milah, and you have to push off to the following day. And he would have to, why, according to Shulchan Aruch and those other Rishonim, why would we say 2-day holiday of Rosh Hashanah specifically? Right, just mention any holiday, Yom Tov Sheni. So you'd have to say that because the Mishnah was written in Eretz Yisrael, the only holiday in Eretz Yisrael that you have a real 2 days is Rosh Hashanah, and that's why you chose it. But in Achinameh, the same thing would apply in Chutz La'aretz if you had a 2-day holiday. Okay, now the Mishnah continues. Katan ha'choleh, if you have a baby that's sick, en molin oto ad she'avri, you're not allowed to give him until he gets better. Okay, now this is important halacha. It's not just get better. Once he gets better, once he recovers from his illness, from his sickness, you need to wait an additional 7 days, 7 complete days. Shiva yamim shelemim. Right? And afterwards, and when I say shilemi, I mean 24-hour periods, 7 24-hour periods. That's how long you have to wait. And this is an important halacha. If a baby has to be, admitted to a hospital, something that happened, jaundice we don't really treat like this, right? Once jaundice really passes, usually they'll give a brit milah right away. But if it's something, that the baby is really sick for, hospital, God forbid, some baby has to go through an operation. Right? Then you need to wait 7 days after he's clear, right? 7 days after he's better. Only then are you allowed to perform the brit milah. Just one more point. Rambam points out. Just know that if you have a baby that's falls out, safek, if he's on the 7th month, which is that's a baby that's fine. Right? At least for sure back then, if the baby was born in the 7th month, he had a chance of living. If he was born in the 8th month, he really did not have a chance of living. Right? Today we're able to, really take care of the baby and figure things out. But back then, if the baby was born in the 8th month, that type of preemie, he wouldn't make it, and you would not be allowed to perform a brit milah for that child. Rambam says he's like a rock on Shabbat. Right? It's muktzeh. Right? There's nothing you could do. But now, if you have a safek, whether the baby's born in the 7th month or the 8th month, you're allowed to perform a brit milah. And why so? Because if he's a 7th month baby, then he's a ben shel kayama, then you need to perform the brit milah on Shabbat, right? But if he's a nefil, right? If he's let's say he wasn't going to make it, and you went ahead and gave him brit milah, right? You cut off his foreskin, then you didn't do anything. It's not considered hovel, right? You just cut off a piece of, it's like cutting off a piece of flesh, right? You didn't really do anything. So it's like mahatech basar ba'almahu, like you're just cutting off a piece of flesh, and it doesn't really count towards anything. So if you have a safek, right? Safek, whether he is a 7th month baby or 8th month baby, you're allowed to perform that type of brit milah on Shabbat. You should just know not everyone agrees to this, right? And Rambam points this out over here. But that's how Rambam, explains that case and this Mishnah as a whole.